Welcome back to Mount Travail.
Yes, we are still in this mountain. And, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
We're not,
there ain't no
well,
mountain.
not,
There ain't...
Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
there ain't no mountain high enough for us to climb.
Well, I know I said it was tricky last time, and it kind of is, but it's not the trickiest dungeon of the post-game dungeons. You'll see what the most frustrating dungeon probably is. But this dungeon's not too bad.
It's only more difficult than everything we've encountered so far.
And I think I mentioned this. I think I might have mentioned it. If not, I was in a failed recording. I think I mentioned it with Aegis Cave. I almost wish they had more variety in the dungeons when the new one comes out. I hope they have more. You know, a lot of these dungeons are pretty much the same thing, but different Pokemon, maybe a different structure, and just a background change plus music change. I wish if the dungeons had like different purposes behind them, like different. Like you were mentioning Zero Owl. Zero Owl has. That's what you were talking about. Zero Owl has different requirements depending on each dungeon because there's 4 parts to it.
Oh yeah. This we didn't get this in, but I guess I'll talk about it now since I was trying to talk about it before. Get that over with.
Yeah, I just want to put it out there. I'm a dumbass when it comes to recording because I unplug my computer from charging so that it can use the battery up, and I just do that also to prevent a little bit of overheating. And I constantly keep forgetting to plug it back in. So we lost like half the recording last time when we did this episode because of me.
Yeah, it's okay though. We're still gonna get it done.
It's not okay. I ruined everything.
Soiled it. Oh, but anyway, I might as well pull up Cerebi because I know basically that there are specific prerequisites for entering. Not prerequisites. That's a bad word.
It sounds nice though.
Restrictions. That's a better word. Restrictions for entering Zero Isle, which will come later after the post game. Let me go find that out though. So, one thing I thought that maybe the 3DS Mystery Dungeon might do is multi-level dungeon floors, since it's 3D, so they'll have 3D floors.
Well, maybe. You mean like you go about like on different platforms or something?
Yeah, like instead of having just one flat level floor where there's only one floor to a floor, there'd be multiple floors.
So turn it into a 3D maze type thing?
Kinda, sorta, yeah.
I don't know. That might work.
I don't know if that's something. Well, I mean, not like a first person.
Well, no. But
Doom, like the Doom games, nothing like that.
I'm thinking kind of executed better. But you remember in Super Mario RPG in the pirate ship with that 3D maze where you have to something like that along the lines of more well done than that, not more well done than it was in that game, and obviously you'd be able to see everything.
Wait, in the pirate ship,
but
RPG? I don't remember that.
When you had to get the code that was pearls to Davy Jones or
man, I'm just
if
anyone can tell me who Jonathan Jones is, please.
Yeah, I think Johnny Jones, not. I think that's the name of this. I can't remember.
Well, Johnny's his nickname. It's John. It's both. It's both.
Yeah, it's not Davy though. I said Davy Jones.
It's not Davy. It is Jonathan Jones, but he's called Johnny.
And yeah, I think I mentioned this before. I really hate the multi-hit moves in this dungeon or in this game. They're really powerful because just the way the game is set up differently than the main games. The multi-hit moves are just so much more effective, and they can be quite a pain to deal with.
Yeah. Oh, but for Zero Isle, I'll give an example of one of them. I won't say them all because I'll explain it when we make those videos for each one.
Well, first, I was dumb here, and I didn't realize that Marowak...
Oh, yes, this part.
I didn't realize that Marowak had lightning rod, so I move in.
Yes.
But wait, then now we'll adjust
it's
your...
Oh, it has lightning rod? Oh, maybe
No, I didn't notice it yet, because then I had to go and adjust your moves to make sure you'd only use discharge.
It's like, well, that was weird. Maybe if I tried discharge.
I wasn't looking.
Your focus needs more focus.
And here it comes.
And oh wait, you gotta wait for
yeah, I gotta use another slumber.
The slumber.
So at this point, I realized that Marowak had lightning
Like,
rod.
maybe there's something wrong with
Maybe
this.
something's not working the way I want it to be.
Okay. Well, this should work. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, really, monster houses aren't that big a deal. The one thing, though, is they're a lot easier if you have multi-hit moves. And, I don't know, I almost think there would be really, putting in a stipulation where you couldn't use orbs, like if you play in the game and you didn't want to use orbs. Because not being able to paralyze all the Pokemon also makes it really hard, because you have to deal with all these Pokemon attacking you. So.
Yeah. Oh, I think someone commented in the last video, in a failed recording of this one, we figured out that Shedinja actually can get destroyed via throw items.
See,
I think.
well, we knew that. The one thing that I think I mentioned in the failed recording was I wasn't sure if actually Shedinja was getting affected by other attacks, because in some portions of the dungeon it seems like Pikachu using thunder or something does affect it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think I figured out that Wonder Guard is still in play here, so it's just like in the normal games. I think.
Yeah.
You have to have a super effective move affect it,
But
which would make more sense, because why would you allow ineffective moves to work?
Well, the other thing is Shedinja's whole thing is that it can only be attacked by certain types of Pokemon, but it only has 1 HP too. So if that Pokemon attacks it, it's just dead, I believe.
Yeah.
Which, in some ways, like, Shedinja's broken too. You'd think, depending on the Pokemon, the dungeon you go into. Of course, not so much, because even if the Pokemon's not of that type, they might have the move that can still attack them.
I'm sure someone has hacked Pokemon before and given Sableye one.
Yeah, I mentioned that. That's the most popular hack, because giving it to Sableye or I think Spirit Tomb pretty much makes it so you can't kill Spirit Tomb or Sableye, because they don't have any. Nothing super effective against them.
Oh, here's the example though for Zero Isle East. You can't recruit Pokemon at all in Zero Isle, period. But you get reduced to level 1 at the start, and this one specifically, you can only bring 17 items to the dungeon, whereas some of them you can't bring any. Or well, no, you start off with 0. I don't know. There's that thing, Zero Isle.
Is there a reason
pretty challenging? Is
there a reason it's called Zero Isle?
Zero Isle. Zero Isle. I don't know. Maybe it's
Does it stand for something like?
It might be because in the sequence of no, what's it called? The set of numbers between 0 and infinity. What is that called? Natural numbers?
Ask SM. I'm not a math major.
Yeah, I think it's because if you want to go geek out on math, I think it's because the Zero Isle stands for the very beginning of the set of natural numbers, so it forces you to start at level 1.
Yeah, but it's for that one island. The other ones have different rules, don't they?
I think they all share a common rule. I think they all share that level 1 rule at least.
I don't think so, because I hate this Hitmonchan. Because I remember one of the people at that group of the team ABW or whatever, the ones that mentioned Zero Isle.
Oh, you're right.
They mentioned the fact that there's 4 things and each one has their own, their own rules to it.
Yeah. The only one that doesn't reduce you to level 1 is North, but all the other ones do the same thing.
Well, don't they have other specifications along with it?
Yeah, they have other unique requirements too, or another unique restrictions too.
Okay.
Like they all have a different number of restrictions, I think. See,
that's the one thing though. As much as I do like this game, I really think if they want to make the 3DS one really fantastic, they need to make each dungeon more unique. Then they need to make it more than just a palette swap.
Yeah.
Either, like, they have traps, make the traps specific to that dungeon, make each dungeon feel unique. And they don't do that here.
Yeah, instead of having all the rooms accessible, make one room inaccessible, and it has the exit.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Like you get to a floor and the exit's in a room you can't access, and then you're like, oh, well, I'm stuck.
I think not. Oh man, this dungeon it feels long too. Like it's only 20 floors, but for whatever reason, I guess it just took me a long time. Was it taking about, well, I guess not too much more than any other dungeon. It just feels longer.
Yeah. Plus, this video is 20 minutes. How long is this dungeon? Is it like 25 minutes? Did it take like 25 minutes to do?
It was pretty much like last video was about 20 minutes too, I think, and there was it was like half of that was Travail, so I'd say it took about 30 minutes.
Okay. Oh, Kangaskhan. Get back to storing.
I've decided, even though, well, technically it's out at this point, Black and White 2, but I'm not gonna be able to getting it. I'm not getting it until Thursday because I'm getting it from Amazon, and they won't be sending it out until. Which I have plenty to do and plenty of games to play, so I'm not one of those people that really cares too much about getting something right now. As 4 days from now is plenty of time. But anyway, the point I was trying to make was I decided when I do get Black 2, I'm actually going to do a Nuzlocke run for it because...
Oh, boy.
Well, because I have a living Pokedex at this point. I don't need, and the Pokemon games, besides, the story is interesting, but they're not hard. So I'm figuring I should, try and spice it up, and because the whole hook with the last game, and also this is the first place you can recruit Onix, but the whole hook with the last game was, starting off with these new Pokemon, and you didn't have any Pokemon that you ever saw before, so that was enough to interest me through playing the game, you know what I mean? But now that you have all the Pokemon from the past, you're already used to the Pokemon from Gen 5, and you'll have older Pokemon available from the start. I'm figuring trying to play a different way to mix things up and make it more interesting too.
I think I mentioned this earlier in the Let's Play, but there's an article online about a person who buys video games, and he does I'm gonna call it Nuzlocke. It's probably called something different. One life runs through video games, so like he'll get a Call of Duty game, and if he dies, even once in the campaign, he'll quit playing the game.
And then he'll just sell it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if he as soon as he dies, he treats it like he actually died in the game, and he doesn't play it because the whole multiple lives business.
See, the thing with that though is, I mean, if you treated it like most things, besides dying, if you treated most things in life like that, no one would ever get anything done. For example, someone wants to learn to cook or bake a cake. If they bake a cake and they screw up the first time, and then just never bake a cake anymore. Well, of course you're not gonna maybe make the perfect cake the first time. You have to keep practicing and get better at it. Sometimes there's people who are just naturally good, but in the most cases you have to keep practicing and working at it. So the way I figure with video games is that they kind of act like that. It's kind of a with Mario, you might screw up the first time through this path. If you keep working at it, eventually you'll get it, and that's one thing I like with video games and that's why I don't rage. Like a lot of people have gamer rage, at least for single player games, because for the most part, I'm eventually gonna do it. There's not really anything that you can't do if you keep trying at it. At least that's my philosophy.
Well, I think the idea with the Nuzlocke run is like the Pokemon supposedly dies.
Well,
right?
yeah, if the Nuzlocke run, I think we've mentioned it several times, but with the Nuzlocke run, if you can only have so many Pokemon that you're allowed to get, like one per route, and when you get it, if the Pokemon faints, it's considered dead, and you have to release it.
Yeah, and I think that's what this guy's trying to get at with not all games, but a lot of these games like Call of Duty, because death suggests it's a finality suggestion.
Well, I think stop playing the game is a little radical. I mean, I know you can't really do that much with like Halo, but I do agree it does add a bit more strategy to Pokemon. Because here's the thing, you have 6 Pokemon. If you have them, die, you can easily use another one, and it doesn't. It's fairly easy. So not only does it make it more tricky, but it also makes sure you're more careful and play more strategy, and also it's supposed to kind of make a more bond with your Pokemon. You have to nickname them too, because you're treating them like actual not disposable. You're treating them like, you know, you don't want them to die. You know what I mean? And so, like, when one friend played a Nuzlocke run and had to stop because he couldn't deal with the fact that he was releasing these Pokemon that he named. I know it's silly, but it you know, pretend instead of Pokemon, these are like dogs, like your pets. You know, like in real life, like if instead of, you know, and then if you were fighting with it would actually die. You want to be careful with your dog. You don't want to just, you know, dog fighting's not good. Don't do it. I love how there was actually an ad. I think it's in the Pokemon magazine, one of the Pokemon magazines. It says animal fighting in real life is actually, don't do it, it's bad. And then it says also do not cram your animals into balls. And I was like, well then, I will not do that anymore.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, you mentioned that whole gamer rage thing, and I know quite a few people that just it no longer makes sense to me anymore to get angry at a video game, because I do understand.
Yeah.
I have done it before, like with Final Fantasy games or just RPGs in general that take a long time to work on and put some effort into, but ultimately it's supposed to be an avenue for enjoyment, and if it becomes more than that, then you should just stop. Lost its meaning.
Yeah, the only time that I think get annoyed with games, or anything for that matter, is when they're not doing what they're supposed to, or when, like, the thing that's like, for example, in Wario Master of Disguise, it gets to the point with, because of the way you have to use your powers and switch, basically you use your powers by drawing on the touchscreen, and you switch forms by drawing on the touchscreen. And there's a section, like, at the near end of the game that was really almost impossible because of that system of switching. And I got a little frustrated with that, because it's like, it's not working the way it should work. You know, there's nothing that I'm doing that's causing it to do it. It's just, I get frustrated when something isn't working logically. That's, I guess, the main thing I'll get frustrated at. Oh, look at that Tyrogue.
Tyrogue is watching Pikachu very
I'm just
carefully.
sneaking up behind him.
What was that?
You really wanted Pikachu.
Oh boy.
Well, I think both of them couldn't. I think Pikachu could have, maybe, but they couldn't attack through the wall, so he just didn't attack and was just preparing to attack Pikachu, but couldn't.
Cubone.
His AI was not very smart. Oh, I hate Cubone.
Oh, that's Marowak.
I hate the Thunder or Lightning Rod. Not Thunder Rod. Thunder Rod doesn't make any sense.
Thundercats.
Have you seen the new show of that?
Nope.
It's actually good. The old one is kind of silly.
I've not watched a minute of that new show.
You should.
Maybe a total of a minute if you count me watching the multiple trailers.
Well, see, you should try new things, because new things are good. It's good to try new things.
Because John wanted to try new things.
What?
You remember that movie? I Am Sam?
No.
You've never seen that with Sean Penn?
I haven't seen movies that, like, everyone loves. Why would I have seen that movie? I haven't seen
It's a good film.
I don't feel like I've watched The Last Crusade all the way through either. Indiana Jones. I know we were talking about Inception the other last episode, I think. That I haven't seen that.
No, but he's at a custody trial. The guy who plays Sean Penn plays the father of this daughter, and you should see it. You should see it.
Okay, but we've reached
Travail
the
Peak.
And look,
We've travailed the mountain.
It's Drowzee. He's given up
Travail.
all his worldly possessions and decided to just become a hermit.
The reformed Drowzee.
We need your help. Yes, we do. We need him to go inside Azurill.
We need your help, Drowzee.
Oh.
Darkrai has declared war.
Now, I do like this line that he's about to say. I did a rotten thing to little Azurill way back when. So yeah, Drowzee is going to come help us out. So
I love remorse.
So next time, we're going to see if we can help Azurill out of his dreams. So see you guys.
Goodbye.